Good morning, or actually not morning, it's afternoon. I'm so sorry. I only just really kind of rolled out of bed. Um, Only because it's my day off. I'm enjoying it. So while I have a day off, I know back when I said that I was going to do a video on like how many dogs do you need to groom, or how many can you groom, or something like that. Back in another video that I had done. So here I am again. I'm doing this video a little bit later in the afternoon because I'm hoping that most people are going to be done grooming. So what I have done is I've gone through and I've worked out how many clients, if say I just started out, and I didn't have any clients, and I'm panicking over the fact that I do not know how many dogs do I need to do, or how many can I do in an entire month. So I'm talking more newbies, okay? So that you can have that clientele to work up to, and build a repetitive clientele, because we all want those clients to come in on a regular basis. So what I'm starting out here are for your very new people. Now, I've already written all this stuff down to make this easier. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in, but I'll probably get back to them and answering them at the end. So bear with me as I change the view on this. Okay, so now if you guys have watched my What Are You Worth video, these are pretty much the exact same numbers that I figured out in that video. So when I said I could groom 171 days, okay, you saw, if you guys saw that video, you'll see these numbers. I groom 18 days out of the month, which is and I groom about 42 weeks because I could take some time off. So you got to do the What Are You Worth video. I'll tag you in, or I'll link that to this video. But you need to do that one first before you can do this. Okay, guys? So pretty much how many clients, like, you hear these people that say, oh, I have 1,200 clients, I have 2,000 clients, or I have 400 clients, you know, in their file folders and things like that. If this was a perfect world, this would be that magic number that you need. You would obviously need probably a little bit more when it comes to that. So pretty much what I have done is I've gone through and I figured out that I groom 18 days out of the month. I groom about 9.5 months, which is 42 weeks. And this is my how many days I groom a day. So as we kind of move down over here, don't mind some of that. Then we go to, and you saw, I'm happy working 7.5 hours a day. Okay. Yes, there are times where you work more and there's times where you work less, but we're working in a perfect world. Okay. These are just what we're working on. So when you go through to figure out how many hours a day that you work, 7.5. Some weeks I work 5 days, and there's 1 week out of the year or month I work 3 days. So here are my hours. So it's not quite a full-time job. Okay, it's still classified as a part-time job. Sorry. So we'll get to those in just a second, because I also have told you to figure out how long it takes you to groom a dog. And we all said that I can groom a dog in about an hour and a half. Okay, so in an hour and a half, in a day, I can groom 5 small dogs. Again, that was just an average groom. Those are just average numbers. So here, I can do 25 dogs a week when I work on the 5 days a week. Or on the 3 days a week, I can work 15. So those are basically my numbers that I would be aiming for when I'm booking out my weeks. Okay, the next thing. So, trying not to show you too much because it can really get a little overwhelming for some people. Okay, if you're not good at math, this is going to be not fun for you to work out. But I've already done it for you. You just plug in your numbers. Okay, this is already planned out and worked out. You just plug in your numbers. So In a month, I work 135 hours a month, which comes out to be about 90 dogs a month. Now, granted, some of those dogs are weekly, so they kind of fit 4 times into that. But still, you have 90 appointments that you can fill in a month. Okay? So, basically, you need to groom 90 dogs in a month. I work 9.5 months out of the year, which equals to be about 855 dogs. So that is my number. That's how many dogs I can groom. I cannot fit. That's how many appointment spots I have. That's how many dogs I can fit in. Now, give or take the time wise. Now, we're just talking perfect world. They're all hour-and-a-half groom dogs. Okay, these are just so you have some numbers, some figures to work off of. Now, here's the other thing. Those 850 dogs, that you're not going to have one dog a year, okay? That you would have to have a lot of dogs to do that. So you are planning and hoping that you're going to see at least one client every 8 weeks, okay? So this is again where you figure out how many weeks you work, how many days. That's where all this comes in, okay? Even though we don't do much with it, you still need to work it out so that you can plug these numbers in. So 9.5 months is 42 weeks. Now, an 8-weekly client, how many times do they come in that 42 weeks? Well, 5.25 times, okay? So you're going to see one dog in a year about 5 times, okay? Well, that's what you hope for, okay? A lot of times we don't see them that many times, but we hope to get that. Now, so if you take this number of how many appointment spots, how many dogs that you can groom in a year pretty much, and you divide that by 5. Don't worry about the quarter times, okay? Just go 5 times. You're going to see that dog 5 times a year. So you want to divide that by that big number up there. Whoa, doesn't that number look familiar? Looks like how many days I groom. And you know what? Guaranteed most of the time you plug different numbers in and you're always going to get about the same. That's just the kind of cool magic thing about this little trick. If you get the same, if you get something different, let me know. I would like to know what maybe you've done. But every different number I've plugged in trying out this little math formula, I always get the same numbers that work out. So you can skip all of this and just go to how many days you work. That's how many clients you need. But again, I still like to figure all of this out so that I can see how many dogs I need. So when you're working on a clientele, building it up, okay, when you get to that magic number, and if ideally they all booked 5 times a year every 8 weeks, you would have completely full books every single time. You wouldn't really have any room to fit anybody else. That's ideally. We all want to be in that spot where we don't have to worry about week to week or day to day, are we going to have any dogs on the books? You pre-book them and get them to book out every 8 weeks. So again, we're looking at this in a perfect world, okay? So this just gives you a ballpark number to go to. Granted, you're probably going to want 200 or 300 clients because you aren't going to get them all to come in every 8 weeks. Now, there's another way of figuring this out, okay? It just depends on the person. So the other way of figuring this out, okay, it's also a little bit faster way. So there's more than one way to get the answer. There's more than one way to groom a dog. There's more than one way to figure this out. So if you take the 171 days that you work times by your hours for the day, will give you $1,270 or $82, not dollars. You see the number. If you divide that by an hour and a half, which is what it takes for you to groom a dog on average, or at least this is me. These are my numbers. Remember, guys, okay? Guess what? It's 855 dogs. So you know that at least you're doing your math right if you're getting all the same numbers. So again, I mean, you just come over here and you divide it there. So you can see how figuring out even the no nonsense numbers can actually help you figure out what your goal is. So many groomers so many people just jump right into grooming, and they have no idea how much they're spending on shampoos or rent, or, I mean, well, obviously you know how much you're spending on rent, but you don't have any idea of all those other little numbers. And this is just a way of helping you work into that business plan, or at least work into figuring out what your goal is and how many dogs you can comfortably do. Because I'm going to do another video here shortly, is scheduling. Okay, that's another big thing. So that's going to be another video here shortly. But you got to do your what am I worth video first before you can actually jump over to this. So if you don't have any of those numbers from the last one, you're not going to know what here, because you would use these numbers to then roughly figure out what you would make a year in your totals and things like that. Because you can literally just take your hourly wage, times it by the big total of the year, and that'll give you your sum for the entire year of what you're estimated to do. Okay, so when you're doing your estimates and figuring out what you're going to do, that's one of those things that, you know, well, what am I estimated to do this year, or what am I estimated to make? A lot of people have no idea. Okay, this is just a clue. And granted, that's in a perfect world, in a bubble. We don't all live in a bubble. Okay, it doesn't always work that way. So again, this will stay up. I hope this helps some of you. Again, if you need help with any of this, don't hesitate to contact me. I've had many of you contact me, and I'm happy to help. I am a very busy person, unlike my time off right at the moment. Keep inviting your friends. If you have another way of doing this, please show us. I would love to know another way of working out the numbers, or at least how you guys work it out. Okay. So I will let you go, and we'll see you later.